Factors impacting protection and security in healthcare facilities. Welcome to Building Knowledge 101. Enhance your understanding of the various solutions available to healthcare facilities that provide protection from blast, hurricanes, and windborne debris. External forces can present safety threats to building occupants within seconds. Buildings can be critically damaged and landscapes change. Consider comprehensive smart solutions that serve as the ultimate protection against bomb blast, hurricanes, large and small missile, and windborne debris. If your project is located along the coastal regions in a high-velocity wind zone, then you will need to utilize systems that have been tested for large and small missile impact. The central part of the United States is subject to tornado force winds that often give little advance notice of their arrival. Here you can see a wind speed map. It calls out this central area here as being an over 250-mile-an-hour wind speed. So this area is considered Tornado Alley. There's high probability of tornadoes occurring in this area. International Building Code references ICC 500, which is a standard for the design and construction of storm shelters. Essential facilities such as hospitals that are built within the 250-mile-an-hour wind zones must include storm shelters built in accordance with ICC 500. Tornado standards were adopted by TDI, or Texas Department of Insurance. Other municipalities, states, and locations subjected to the threats of tornadoes have also been following TDI and ICC 500. And ICC 500 includes a wind load chart that you see here on the left that shows as wind speeds increase, the missile impact speeds are associated with the wind speeds also increase. So project built in locations under TDI need to determine the wind speed at the project site and then select from systems that have been tested with missile impacts at the appropriate speeds for that location. So you can see here, as the wind speed increases, then the force of the missile against the test specimen also increases in correlation to the wind speed. As a high security site and government facility, projects like this, Vandenberg Hall, the United States Air Force Academy, typically have been specified to meet DoD, or Department of Defense, blast mitigation requirements. Projects with blast requirements or minimum terrorist standards for blast performance are based on building categories and need to comply with performance standards called out in either the Interagency Security Committee, General Services Administration, GSA, or Department of Defense, DoD, and following the Unified Facilities Criteria, which specifies performance levels and standoff criteria for systems. Anytime you're working on an embassy building, a courthouse, military buildings, you're going to need to understand the blast mitigation requirements for that specific project, what type of testing is required, and then look at glazing systems that have been tested to comply and meet the standards of which of these standards you're going to be required to follow. An additional performance requirement specific to psychiatric facilities is testing to see how the system will hold up if someone is falling against them. This test is conducted by swinging a 300-pound bag of sand into the frames from a distance of 80 inches, and it generates a force of about 2,000 pounds against the elevation. Again, this is to test, mainly in psychiatric facilities, how a frame or an elevation is going to hold up to someone slamming into it, someone falling, or somebody intentionally running into it. So if you're looking at psychiatric facilities, make sure that this test standard is included in your specification. That is all we have time for in this video. If you'd like to watch more of our 101 video series, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kawneer Company, Inc.